I'm Ashlyn, this is Zach and Sierra, and we're traveling A to Z. Join us this week as we go explore the top things to do and see in Nashville, Tennessee.
Are we on an airplane? Heading to Tennessee.
We made it to Tennessee, I think. I think that's where we are.
Yep, just landed in Nashville, Tennessee to start our fun vacation.
We're driving, we made it to Tennessee. Well, we made it to Tennessee yesterday, but we got our rental car. Now we're heading to the Grand Opry, and we're gonna see if we could get into the backstage tour. They have tours about every 15 minutes, so we're hoping we can just walk in and get a slot. I know you can book them online though. The Grand Opry in Nashville is one of the most iconic and historic venues in the history of country music. It was founded in 1925 as a radio broadcast. Grand Ole Opry began as a showcase for live country music performers. It is the longest-running radio broadcast in the United States. The Grand Ole Opry House is the primary venue since 1974. It is located a few miles east of downtown Nashville. It is known for its state-of-art acoustics and iconic circle of wood on the stage, taken from the Ryman Auditorium, symbolizing continuity and tradition. Unfortunately, we weren't able to take video backstage, but we were able to take pictures. I will post some pictures here so you can see what it looks like backstage. The Grand Ole Opry Backstage Tour is a great way to get a behind-the-scenes look at one of the country music's most iconic venues. The dressing rooms are themed, and each room reflects the history and tradition of the Opry, often celebrating its legendary performers. The Opry has hosted legendary performers such as Dolly Parton, Johnny Cash, Patsy Cline, and more. The Opry House holds around 4,400 people, and it's a spacious venue. It was neat to stand on the stage and look out. We are outside the Grand Opry at the Aquarium. It's a restaurant that you eat basically underwater. How fun is this? Thank you.
This is a cool place. There are tons of fish in this aquarium. That's amazing.
So big. You're literally dining with the fish. It makes you feel like you're underwater. And there's lots of different fish tanks everywhere. Very, very cool. What is this, babe?
So they say that it's gator, but it looks like an onion ring. That is an onion ring.
So it's gator and onions. Gator?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know, tastes like chicken.
Tastes like chicken?
Good try some. Ready?
I don't know if they're saying this is gator and it's actually chicken, or if gator actually tastes like chicken. I've never had gator before. Yeah, tastes like chicken. So it looks like chicken, tastes like chicken. It's just a little chewier than chicken though. Very interesting, pretty good. I'm surprised. And Sierra likes it too. Chicken lettuce wraps, really good. And Zach got like a Cajun, I don't know, a mix of different fish that are fried with rice and pinto beans.
It's good.
Aquarium underwater dining experience, the coolest restaurant we've been to in a long time. You are literally dining with the fish, and you could just sit and watch them swim by. It has chicken and seafood mainly for the restaurant. Really good though. We're in the famous Music City by the Country Hall of Fame. The Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum in Nashville, Tennessee is one of the most iconic institutions dedicated to preserving and celebrating the history and heritage of country music.
So we just did the museum, the Country Hall, the Hall of Fame Museum. It's pretty neat. You cannot record in there, but you can take pictures, so I put some pictures up so you can take a look. It goes through the different history of country music and how it's kind of became a crossover. They have some of old vehicles of Elvis Presley. They have a lot of different guitars. It's a pretty neat museum, so I recommend checking it out when you're in Nashville. There are rotating and permanent displays. The museum houses exhibits that showcase the lives, careers, and contributions of country music legends. Artifacts including the instruments, stage costumes, photographs, handwritten lyrics, and personal items from iconic artists are on display. We're now going to get a Goo Goo Cluster, which was created in 1912 by the Standard Candy Company in Nashville, making them the first combination candy bar. Goo Goo Clusters are made of a combination of milk chocolate, caramel, marshmallow nugget, and roasted peanuts. In the downtown Nashville store, you can learn about the history of the Goo Goo Clusters. Visitors can also make their own custom Goo Goo Clusters at the Design Your Own Candy Bar. Oh, we're in the Goo Goo Cluster store. It smells so good. It's just so sweet. They're famous for Goo Goo Clusters, which this is the first place they've ever made them. And you can pretty much only get them in Tennessee, apparently. Oh, you design your own? Okay. We're gonna go design a go-go, and then they make it for you, kind of like a ice cream parlor or something. That's cool. When you design your own Goo Goo Cluster, you start with the chocolate, then you pick in the fillings you want. Oh, you choose two, huh? Oh, okay. That'd be good.
$15.
This is the area where they make the Goo Goo Clusters for you. We got the Goo Goo Clusters. You can make your own for $15. We bought the ones that are already made that are like the original. The original has peanuts, caramel, nugget, and milk chocolate. We're close to Broadway, so it's super loud right here. Oh, it's so good. Really good. The little bag is like $7.50, way cheaper. We're currently on Broadway and every single bar has music going on. It's really cool. Broadway Street is one of the most iconic and lively areas in the city, often referred to as the honky-tonk highway. It is a must-visit destination for live music, vibrant nightlife, and a true taste of Nashville culture. The street is known for its neon lights, open-air bars, and a mix of locals, tourists, and aspiring musicians. Almost every bar features live music with no cover charge. The genres range from classical country and bluegrass to rock and pop. There's approximately 30 to 40 bars along this stretch of Broadway. Broadway Street is really popular for bachelor and bachelorette parties. How's the music? We love the music! During the day, Broadway is family-friendly with live music venues, shops, and attractions. At night, kids are not allowed in the bars. It's hard to dance, Dad, with those on. Sierra's loving the music and has been dancing and singing all through Broadway Street. We're gonna go get some fried chicken. We're going to Hottie B's Chicken, which is one of the top chicken places in Nashville. So Zach and I both got chicken strips because then you can mix and match the different flavors. So I got hot and medium, and Zach got mild and medium, and we're gonna try them out. They range from like no hotness all the way up to super, super, super hot. And then you get two sides. I got the fries and the mac and cheese, and Zach got the fries and the baked beans. It's supposed to be the top place to try. It's a pretty popular little place. On Broadway it was super busy and there was a huge line. You already tried what one? The mild? Is it mild? Not too bad?
Yeah, it's good.
They say the hot is kind of like a jalapeno hot. The medium is like a normal, I'm gonna go to anywhere that has hot wings type of hot. So we'll see. That is warm. And it's interesting because it's not like dripping in sauce like a lot of places. It's like in the breading.
It's really good. Oh, that's really good. Nice and juicy, slightly crispy, but not like super crispy. Like I said, it's like built into the breading, the spice. It's really good. They also have different dipping sauces. They have a comeback sauce, which is kind of a sweet and spicy, ranch, blue cheese, and a whole bunch of other stuff.
So we're at the Belle Meade Mansion. We're gonna go do the tour. It's a 45-minute historic tour of the house.
In the visitor center, they give you a brochure with all the different buildings on the ground. We walked to the mansion for our guided tour first. Unfortunately, we were not able to take pictures or video. During the tour, they talked about the history of the property and who lived there, and also about the people who worked on the property, including the enslaved individuals. The mansion was beautiful and had some original furnishing and artwork. After the mansion tour, we headed to the Belle Meade Winery. The Belle Meade Winery specializes in small batch wines inspired by the traditional Southern flavors. Their collections include reds, whites, fruit-forward wines, as well as unique blends. The tasting was after the tour of the mansion, making for a fun experience.
You'll definitely taste a little sweetness on this since it's ground down here, almost like a sweet Pinot Grigio.
So after the tour of the mansion, they give you free wine tasting. You try 4 different wines. They're good, they're sweet. They're not California wines though. They're still very drinkable.
After wine tasting, we went and explored more of the property. The Belle Meade Plantation was established in 1807 and was once a prominent horse breeding estate. It plays a significant role in developing some of the most famous racehorses in history, including Seabiscuit and War Admiral. The grounds feature the carriage house and stables, which we just saw, gardens and grounds that are beautifully landscaped, including walking paths, gardens, and old century magnolia and boxwood trees, a dairy and log cabin, which is a log cabin from the early days of the plantation, and a reconstructed dairy shield illustrating the estate's agriculture operations. You could also see the enslaved people's quarters and explore the restored quarters and learn about the lives and contributions of the enslaved individuals who worked on the estate.
In 1865, 136 enslaved men, women, and children at Belle Meade Farm gained their freedom. Less than 1% of slave owners own more than 100 enslaved people in the United States. The number of people enslaved in Belle Meade was staggering. In the 1860s census, 136 people were living in 28 houses across the property. We're currently in Centennial Park and we're gonna visit Parthenon.
The Parthenon in Nashville, Tennessee is a full-size replica of the original Parthenon in Athens, Greece. It is located in Centennial Park and it was built in 1897 as part of the Tennessee Centennial Exposition and serves as a monument to classical architectural art. The Nashville Parthenon is an accurate replica, including all the intricate details of the Doric columns and sculptural elements found in the original structure. As you walk in, they have quite a few exhibits, including artifacts and photographs from the 1897 Tennessee Centennial Exposition, when the Parthenon was originally built.
Cohen Galleries, East and West Galleries.
We're reading the brochure. She's telling us all about all these art pieces. The Parthenon houses a museum on the lower level with permanent art collections, including 19th and 20th century American paintings. Temporary exhibits are also featured. This was really neat to walk through. On this floor, there's a room that tells you about how the replica of the Parthenon was built. We're now heading to the second floor. Inside, you'll find a 42-foot statue of Athena Parthenos, which was created in 1990. It's covered in gold leaf and closely resembles what the historians believe the ancient statue in Athens looks like.
How cool is this?
This room holds the east and west pediments of the Parthenon. Both the originals in Athens and the replica in Nashville are the triangular spaces at either end of the structure located above the columns and below the roofline. These pediments are decorated with intricate sculptures depicting important mythological scenes central to the worship of Athena and ancient Greece beliefs. Shield of Athena! So this Parthenon is an exact replica of the Parthenon in Athens, Greece, except for it's made out of concrete versus the one in Athens, Greece was made out of marble. This was made so people could basically see the ancient culture here in Tennessee in the United States versus having to travel all the way to Greece. Sierra had a fun time exploring Centennial Park, especially playing in the sand. The Hermitage in Nashville, Tennessee is a historic home of Andrew Jackson, the 7th President of the United States. It's located about 10 miles east of downtown Nashville, and it is a well-preserved example of an early 19th century Southern plantation life and a significant historical site. There's a really nice visitor center and museum. In the museum, there are exhibits of Andrew Jackson's life, presidency, and legacy. The topics in the museum include his military career, political impact, controversial politics like the Indian Removal Act, and personal life. You could download an app on your phone and they'll tell you all about the history.
So 1828, Andrew Jackson was elected the 7th president. Unfortunately, before he went into the White House, his wife died. He never remarried. They're married for about 40 years. You can see the carriage, which is one of his carriages, which is pretty neat. He was a general in the military, and he sustained 2 bullet holes, and he survived.
The Hermitage spans over 1,100 acres and includes gardens, slave quarters, farm fields, and archaeological sites. The mansion, originally built in 1821, was remodeled into its current Greek Revival style in 1831. Visitors can explore the home, which contained many original furnishings and decorations from Jackson's time, offering a glimpse into his personal and family life. The garden and tomb is a formal garden where Jackson and his wife, Rachel, are buried.
Andrew Jackson's first house, a log cabin before he built his mansion. The farmhouse kitchen. When Andrew Jackson and his wife Rachel moved into their mansion that was built, they gave this to the slaves to live in, but they took the windows out.
There's a slavery exhibit that shows the lives of the enslaved people who lived and worked on the plantation. The exhibit features records, artifacts, and reconstruction of the slave quarters.
We made it to Jack Daniel's Whiskey Distillery. We're gonna go do a tour of the Jack Daniel's Distillery. Jack Daniel's has been placed on the National Registry of Historic Places.
We're not alcoholics, we're historians.
Jack Daniel's Distillery is one of the most famous whiskey producers in the world. It is located in Lynchburg, Tennessee, about 75 miles south of Nashville. The Jack Daniel's Distillery Visitor Center Museum offers information into the history, craft, and legacy of one of the world's most famous whiskey brands. It provides a blend of historical storytelling and insight into the whiskey making process. In the museum, it's broken up into different sections. They have Jack's early life, where you learn about Jack Daniel's, his upbringing, how he founded the distillery at a young age. The legacy of Nernest Green, which tells the story of Nathan, or Nernest Green, who is the enslaved man who taught Jack Daniel's how to distill and become the distillery's first master distiller. It also shows the brand evolution and how Jack Daniel's went from a small local operation to a globally recognized whiskey brand. There's also an area that talks about the whiskey making process, the ingredients and tools that go into making the whiskey.
In the city of Lynchburg, which is where the Jack Daniel's Distillery is, and it's a dry county.
They made a rule or law that they can make alcohol here, but they're not allowed to sell it. Tennessee had enacted its own statewide prohibition early in 1910, forcing Jack Daniel's to temporarily move production out of state. It wasn't until years after Prohibition ended that the distillery resumed operations in Lynchburg. The distillery is allowed to sell bottles of Jack Daniel's whiskey as souvenirs. These bottles often feature unique labels, commemorative design, and can be purchased on site and taken home from the bottle shop. There's also an area with historic bottles, and you can view some of the displays of Jack Daniel's bottles through the years, including rare and vintage designs. We went on a 60-minute dry county tour of the Jack Daniel's distillery, and it was $20. So you get a frozen Jack lemonade or frozen Jack and Coke. I guess they could sell those, and you have to purchase that when you purchase your ticket.
So you're not allowed to bring backpacks or big bags, so they have lockers you could use.
You're gonna go on a Jack Daniel's distillery tour. You got the ticket? Yeah, you got the ticket? Jack Daniel's Distillery was established in the mid-19th century, and it holds the distinction of being the oldest registered distillery in the United States. The distillery was founded by Jasper Newton, or Jack Daniels, born in 1850. In 1866, Jack Daniels officially registered his distillery, making it the first licensed distillery in the United States. The distillery was built near a cave where iron-free spring water became the key ingredient in Jack Daniel's whiskey. Jack Daniels became known for his meticulous craftsmanship and developed the Lincoln County process, a charcoal mellowing technique still used today to produce Tennessee whiskey.
They filter the alcohol through the charcoal, which takes out the impurities and makes it the Jack.
Jack and Coke. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You pick up your frozen whiskey drink while you're on your tour. Tasty.
Jack Daniel's office.
During the distillery tour, we had the opportunity to stop at Jack Daniel's office. The building is a small rustic building which served as Jack Daniel's personal office during the late 1800s and early 1900s. It has been preserved in its original state, offering visitors a look at how Jack worked and ran his business. In the office, you can see some of the essential furnishings like wood desks, chairs, and shelves, along with ledger books and personal items. There's also an iron safe in the office that played a role in Jack Daniel's untimely death. Legend has it he kicked this safe out of frustration because he could not remember the combination, which led to an infection in his toe and eventually causing blood poisoning and his death in 1911. During the tour, we also were able to see the production of Jack Daniel's Tennessee whiskey. First, they had the ingredients, which was the cave water and a mixture of corn, barley, and rye. This was then combined to make a mash. The mash then had yeast added to it to ferment it, converting the sugars into alcohol. After this, the mixture was added to a copper still to separate the alcohol from the mash. The vaporized alcohol is collected and condensed into a liquid, resulting in high-proof whiskey. The raw whiskey is slowly dripped through 10 feet of sugar maple charcoal, which is called charcoal mellowing, which removes the impurities and adds smoothness to the flavor. After this, the whiskey is aged in a handcrafted white oak barrels. Once the whiskey has reached its peak flavor and quality, it is removed from the barrels, diluted with water, and then bottled. Town of Lynchburg. Lynchburg is a small little town with a population of around 6,000 people. The town square is filled with unique shops, cafes, and antique stores, giving visitors a taste of Southern hospitality.
It's a general store.
The general store has different items you could buy, such as drinks, sweets, candies, and also a lot of Jack Daniel's memorabilia.
So we asked a few of the workers, and they say the Barbecue Caboose Cafe is the best barbecue in town. So that's where we're going.
This is a super cute restaurant with a train that goes around the ceiling, and the food was really yummy. I hope you enjoyed exploring some of the top things to do around Nashville, Tennessee. Please subscribe below to follow more of our adventures.